It starts when police arrest a man standing in traffic on Andrew Young International Boulevard. He had been speaking to the driver of the car, Messiah Young. Officers ask Young to move his car. Young asks the cops to let the other man go. An officer says he will arrest Young if he doesn't move his car. After a moment, the officer reaches into the car. Young hits the gas, leaving the officer behind momentarily. A handful of officers standing nearby run toward the car. They yell for the couple to open the windows. When they don't, an officer starts breaking the glass. Now to the passenger side. An officer opens the door.
No, I don't know what's going on. Okay, stop the car, stop! Stop! Okay, I'm getting out. Stop!
Back on the driver's side, officers puncture the tires and break the window. Officer Streeter tases Young. After a few seconds, officers see Young reach toward his waist. Officers break out in commotion, yelling to each other that Young seems to be reaching for something. As they pull Young out of the car, officers tase him again, zip-tying his wrists. We are expecting a press conference from that Spelman College student and the former Morehouse College student to speak about what Atlanta Police Department has said was excessive force. In fact, 5 officers were disciplined, 2 were fired because of that video. All right, we can tell you that tonight 2 of the officers, as we mentioned, they're off their job. And here they are. Here's a picture of them right there. Yasmina Alston, you have been following this story. In fact, you're in Centennial Park. I'm sure a lot of the protesters, they've been sounding off, upset about that too, as seen as excessive force by the police department.
Well, Sean, we've been looking into both officers, and we know tonight that neither one of them had any previous sanctions or investigations on their post records. Now, the 2 Atlanta police investigators were fired for using excessive force on 2 students during protests that have been happening for the past several nights here at Centennial Olympic Park. Let's show you that footage now. Our cameras showed you that incident live. My photographer and I watched as officers tased the 2 students and dragged them out of their car. Investigator Mark Gardner and investigator Ivory Streeter were fired after the footage caused outrage. Both Streeter and Gardner were with the fugitive unit for the department. Streeter with Atlanta Police since 2003 and Gardner since 1997. Chief Erica Shields has since addressed the decision to terminate both. Take a listen.
And so it's incumbent upon me, or 2 of our employees, to make sure that they understand why these individuals got fired and that it wasn't necessary. The employees brought this upon themselves by their decision making. And I will go to the bat, to the wall for my employees every day. But when wrong is wrong, we have to, as law enforcement, start dealing with it in the same manner that we would deal with it with non-law enforcement.
And you just saw some of it there. That body camera footage gives us a different angle of that incident happening, and we'll of course continue to look into the background of both officers. We're reporting live in downtown Atlanta tonight. Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.